It's day 5 of Cookiemas.
12 days on the fifth day a cookie mass Mariella gave to
All right,
me.
let's stop hurting our people here. Keep
Oh, okay. You know,
all this to say that we're so excited that it's the 5th day of Cookiemas because Cookiemas is like nothing else.
well, it's better if you sing it. But
Today's
it's,
cookie is a
oh my
nemesis.
God, you're just fucking ignoring me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to.
I have energy and spunk, and I've been getting up every day at 5 a.m. because of work and just, sleep in all day as a
That's right.
stay-at-home mom, just,
Eat
doing
bonbons.
nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy over here.
Easy road for me, baby.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our first
The
cookie of
first
the
one
night.
is your nemesis.
Yes, but I overcame it.
Isn't that
If ev-
awesome?
if anybody ever listened to Cookiemas last year, my arch nemesis in cookies is shortbread.
Which for some reason we kept coming up short, and I don't even know why because I made it this time and it just came right out.
It just came right out.
Sometimes it's just a matter of timing, right? It's just life.
I think it's also a matter of like, mind over matter. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Cookies
It's
are
like
like life, you know?
they are, they are. But this one I made better. But we can
I
elaborate.
wouldn't know because we don't live in the same state, so I haven't tried it, so I won't make such remarks. However, I highly doubt it. I made my recipe from a real Scottish lady.
We made it from the same fucking recipe.
Oh, you did? I thought you made it someone else's.
Oh, we made it from the same recipe, literally. Because remember when I was giving you the recipe, you corrected me.
No, ding dong. That's not what happened. I hate texting with you because it's like texting like a 5-year-old with no thumbs. That's what texting you is like, or coherent thoughts.
Okay,
No
whatever.
insults to 5-year-olds because they're
I have
much
I have
better.
things to do in my day. Okay, just because
Oh,
again you do
fuck off.
nothing all day long, I have things to do.
All right, I'm gonna link the recipe that apparently we used on the show notes because it doesn't. I don't even know if it's so much about a recipe as much as it is ratios and technique.
It was a technique. Okay, so it was 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 3 cups of flour. So if you get
Mhm.
confused, just think three, two, one.
Or one,
Okay,
two, three.
you can never let shit go.
No, that's my job in your life. Okay.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. So one thing about this recipe is if you notice, like there's no egg in it
Mm-hmm.
or
Which
anything
is
like that,
good.
which is good. I think that might have been some of the mistake last year. Uh,
Put an egg in it last year.
Mariela, I had like 15 fucking recipes for this shortbread because it was like killing. Remember, I was making shortbread like 3 times a day
I know
because
it
I
was
was
so
going to
bad.
work like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I'm making shortbread. So,
Loving life.
I did put some vanilla bean paste in there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get some vanilla bean paste
I
in there.
didn't do that because I was trying to be a purist, like somebody I know who's always a purist. So I didn't do that. I didn't miss it either, honestly. Did you use salted butter?
No, I use unsalted butter.
I used salted. I loved
Okay,
it.
I use unsalted butter. So, anyways, so here's the thing.
Hmm.
So I put it all in my stand mixer. And one thing about shortbread, you don't really need a stand mixer,
No, I did
but
it
I
by
put a
hand.
stand mixer. So the butter needs to be room temperature, not soft, not melted, room temperature.
What's the best
And
way to room temp butter if you just took it out of the fridge? Key.
I just pop in the microwave, like I do 5 second intervals. And then just open the door and just touch it, put it back in for 5 more seconds.
Yeah.
So I threw the butter in the stand mixer, threw the sugar in there, whipped it together for a moment or so just to get it a little bit creamy. And then I went ahead and put about a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste, Trader Joe's vanilla bean paste, which
Hmm.
is fucking delicious.
Yeah.
And then I put 3 cups of flour in there and I let it roll. And what happens is it became almost like sand. And then when you touched it with your fingers, it formed
It came
like
together.
it came together. So what I did is then I took a parchment lined like 8 by 8 or 9 by 9, whichever one it was, and I also sprayed down the parchment paper too.
You were
So
scared.
yeah, no, I was. I'm fucking prepared for this shit. And then I just tossed that sand mixture in there and I patted it out with my hands and it formed into a dough. And I took a fork and poked the little holes in it. And now this is where I think we went wrong last year as opposed to this year. So I was doing a little bit of research and I put it in the oven at 300 degrees so lower than what you would normally cook cookies and things like that, for 50 minutes, 50.
Okay.
Okay. Then took it out and you let it stand for about an hour before you cut into it.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna add a note there. You don't just poke it with a fork. You have to score it in the way you want to cut it. So that means just to like run your knife over top to cut it in the grids that you would like or whatever shape you want. And then you poke the little holes into each finger or square or whatever you want to use.
I didn't do that.
It's a better ways to cut it. So remember, you also have to cut them when they're still warm.
No, I didn't.
That's you don't follow fucking directions.
Okay,
That's
you
your
know what?
problem.
I think it came out delicious and
It's
it
not
came
about
out
delicious, it's about
moist
pretty.
and it came out soft and it didn't break when I cut it.
Okay, well, good for
So,
you.
you know what? I don't know what you did wrong over there,
I talked to the
but
Scottish lady on the
you
internet and she
know,
told me what to do
you
and I
know what?
listened.
I had a British lady teach me how to do shortbread, and I most positively make a better shortbread.
Okay, so this is what I did because I did not use a stand mixer because the Scottish lady doesn't use one. She uses like her hands. So
Mhm.
I creamed the butter with a spoon, which by the way I had never done, and it's really kind of easy. Big wooden spoon,
Oh,
mash
I've done
that
that
shit
before.
down. I've never done it before. I've really always relied on machinery, and I've been trying to get away from that because I hate taking that shit out. It's not on my counter like yours, so it's more inconvenient. So anyway, I have put in the butter in the bowl. I put the sugar, and then I stirred it together and made it like a one homogeneous paste. And then I added the flour, and with my fingers, I kind of massaged it in, kind of
Hmm.
like when you make that money sign with your fingers, right? The thumb. I did that, and I rubbed it all into the flour, and then it became sandy. And then I just plopped that shit onto a baking dish, and I, with the back of a spoon, I mashed it in to make it, cohesive. And then I baked it. I baked mine at 325 for like 20 minutes. But I also baked mine in the air fryer. So it's different.
Hmm.
So I would follow your recommendation unless you do it in the air fryer.
Yeah, I think the lower temperature for a longer time is what really did it.
Agreed. I didn't
But
get like the pools of butter that I did last year around it.
yes, remember that? Oh, I'm haunted by the pools of butter.
It was
So I didn't get that
terrifying.
either. So I'm very excited that I have a method to this madness.
Did you watch
And
Ted Lasso?
no, and I don't want to hear about his fucking shortbread anymore because I
That
tried
show
to
is
do
so
it
good. You're missing out.
1,000 times. Like, you know what? You have really bad taste in shows because
No,
here's the
this
deal.
one's good.
You make things, it was like Napoleon Dynamite. You made it sound so fucking funny. And like I would laugh every time you would talk about something in that movie. And then I watched the movie and it's the stupidest fucking movie I've
You
ever
know what
seen in
it
my.
is though? It's because I have a talent, right? I'm really good at telling things, like telling stories and like involving, especially for you. I don't know why it is that we have this
Yeah,
like
you're very
chemistry.
entertaining to me. You are very
Yes, I really
entertaining
am.
to me. You always have been.
I know. And
And
then like
so
I tell you things and you're like, yeah. And then when you watch it, it's just lackluster in
and then watch
comparison.
it. I'm like, what the hell shit is this?
I
And
know.
you'll call me be like, how'd you like it? Isn't it hysterical? No, it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
You have to see it through
And
my lens, Keter.
but to this day, I still rather hear stories from you than watch it because it's gonna be funnier
I
coming
know.
from you. That's good. Yeah, I mean, you describe things funny, so I mean, I think that's why I like it.
Listen, I love it. I love it for us. Oh, and then I sprinkled sugar on top. Did you do that?
Okay, no, so I didn't because I knew I was gonna want to level up my shortbread game here.
We're not talking about that yet. Remember, we're gonna have another
Okay, I
cookie.
don't, but people need to know about this, Mari.
So yeah, I put a little bit of sugar on top to give it a little crunchy crunch, which by the way, I'm falling in love with crystallized sugar. I made
Yeah,
another cookie today and I put crystallized sugar on top and the crunch honey, it is like second to none. I really do love crystallized sugar. It's a worthy investment and it's like $2 at the wall at the Target.
yeah, I like crystallized sugar too. It's fun.
And that is shortbread, you guys. Like it is three ingredients. It is super delicious. And I did not even invest in expensive butters because we did that last year and I didn't want to do that this year. I
Oh
just
my
used
God,
regular schmegular butter.
I spent probably like $50 on butter last
Remember?
year. It was like nonstop. It was haunting me in my.
Oh, and I used salted butter and mine was good. You used unsalted.
I use unsalted. Yeah, I always bake with unsalted.
I don't.
Um,
I always bake with salted because I'm a salty bitch and I just want to
I
be
like salted, but I just gotta be careful with my salt intake. So I'd rather just
by you and your
control.
fucking salt intake.
You know what, Mariela? I have ocular hypertension. Okay, so
Oh man, you have reached the pinnacle of all your dreams and hypochondria, haven't you? You're like, I have something hard to say. I am so happy with myself.
Listen, I woke up yesterday
Yeah.
in agonizing pain, and
Why this time?
it's because my sciatica was acting up.
You're old. You need to stretch. You need to stretch, you old
Honey,
fart.
it's a nerve issue. It has nothing to
No, it's
do with muscle.
look up the treatments for sciatic nerve pain and you will see stretches.
Okay, I understand because I've had to go to a neurologist for this, and
Dildo.
they
You're such a
do
dildo.
exercises. Okay, you're just jealous because I knew where to go, and you're like Googling your sciatic pain.
All right, y'all. So enough of us. Shortbread for the win. I will link this recipe.
Shortbread. And you know what I think about shortbread? I like that you cut it up into like little bars, you put them in little boxes, and they're cute. They're just nice little gifts to have. I think people are don't really
And
expect.
you know what else I like about shortbread? It's not cloyingly sweet, which I don't like a lot of very sweet things. I'm not that person. And I find shortbread to be like just this delightful sweetness. It's not
It
overbearing.
has a hint of sweetness. I like it.
Put it in your box if you're making a cookie box or just make this. Just make this. You can dip a little bit of it in chocolate if you want to make it fancy, add some sprinkles. You can, some
Dip it
people
in.
even roll it out and cut it into forms. Could do that. It's up to
I don't
you. I don't like it either, but people like things that we don't like, Keter. Remember, it's called tolerance.
know.
All right, y'all. Day 5 of Cookiemas is in the books. 3-ingredient cookie, and it's fancy as fuck. I promise you that people will be like, wow, you made shortbread because they watch Ted Lasso and they have good
Oh,
teeth.
and one thing I just want to add before we go, Maddie,
What
because I
else?
don't want to Ted Lasso shit. One thing is the shortbread, that especially Americans, that we get in grocery stores is really crap
It's shit.
compared to shortbread that you make at home. So
Yeah.
when you think of shortbread, you think of like these horrible, hard cookie-like substance, and it's
No,
not. They're soft,
it's
they're
soft and
good.
yummy.
So they melt and shortbread melts in your mouth. So I think when people think about shortbread, they're going to think about the crappy shortbread that's in grocery stores. It's not.
Not
It's a
crusty.
really, it's not crusty. I'm telling you, it's soft, it's buttery. So make it at home and you will see the massive difference in shortbread than what we think shortbread is.
Amen, sister. We'll be back tomorrow. Oh, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. It makes a difference. And leave us a little note. Be courageous. Write a review. Don't just leave stars. Somebody left us a 3-star review without a write up. Who was that
I
fucking
swear to
pussy?
God, like get some balls and leave a fucking write up at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Like, hey,
Like,
listen,
oh,
say it.
3-star review. Like, oh, fantastic, you keyboard warrior.
Say
Like,
it with your chest, bitch.
yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna give a 3-star review and not say shit. Fuck you.
Anyway, so be kind and leave us a nice message, and yeah, share us with your friends and make these recipes. We love you, and we'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.